Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Garblag Games. My name is Dan, the Garblag Troll, released once again from the very depths of Garblag Towers, brought forth once again to bring you some Star Wars D6 West End Games content. Hurrah! Some announcements to begin with. Congratulations to Ben on achieving his Kickstarter for Descendants of Darkness. That Kickstarter is still open for a few more days, so please do go check it out. Tomorrow we have Traveller, another sci-fi epic game presented by Garblag. And then on Friday we have Spire, a brand new game, so please also check it out there. If you're watching us on Twitch, don't forget that you can spend your Garblag Gropes on a reroll for our players or me, the lovely GM. Of course you want to do that. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to go and watch us on Twitch. But if you're staying on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment on what you thought about the game. Okay, so let's get started for tonight then. And let's begin with Eve.
Hi, I'm Eve. I'm playing the Twi'lek pilot called Merrick Sar, also known as Pulsar for his code name.
Roger.
Hi, I'm Roger. I'm playing Lutz Niem, the Sullustan Jedi X-Wing pilot.
Okay.
I'm playing Stringer, the human X-Wing pilot. Yep.
And finally...
Hi, I'm Colin. I'm playing Jamadil Jul, the... Oh, and this one I always forget. Duros pilot. I keep forgetting my character's race. yeah, species, just thing. Also known as Sparks.
So when last we saw our heroes, they had completed a mission around a large red dwarf sun, which seems contradictory in terms, but there you go, hiding behind jets of plasma, scanning the space station for a cargo freighter, which we believe was transporting specialist alloys to the Dark TIE Fighter project. On board the station, the captain of the pioneering spirit, Dash Hansen, was trying to smuggle himself on board, and the Y-Wing Squadron also committed to a bombing run on a docked Star Destroyer, the same Star Destroyer that has been chasing the New Hope. Following this, our party have gone into hyperspace and returned to the New Hope. The New Hope has now set up its new home inside a black planetoid, a former very volcanic moon with lots of lava flumes and huge volcano craters. And the New Hope is able to fly into one of these volcano craters and hide inside this cold dead moon to dock and make much urgent and needed repairs, I might add. So tonight we're going to have a little bit of a different format, as it will be a sort of downtimey session. But don't worry, we're only going to be doing this for a little bit, and then the campaign will kick off again. So I'm going to go around my players, but I'll start off with an example. So something that happens to the squad, and then maybe something that happens to the characters. Each of the players will say something that happened to the squad, maybe a mission they did, and then something that happened to their characters. So an example may be that once the New Hope has settled into dock, players find themselves into a sort of regular routine of sharing outbound missions with Diamond Squadron. But one person in the squad must maintain a sort of picket patrol outside of space, in the system, making sure there's no kind of incoming targets. Another one of the pilots spends their time in the X-Wing, sitting in the landing bay, ready to take off as the alert fighter. meaning that they basically had to spend an entire shift of maybe up to 6 hours sitting in a cockpit awake, ready to take off at a moment's notice. And then the other 2 pilots get the downtime when they're resting or committing to kind of recreational activities around the New Hope. But a lot of the crew of the New Hope are kind of setting up a makeshift camp in the tunnels around the New Hope, kind of as engineers go in and out of it, trying to replace parts and fix the hull and stuff. The crew are kind of moving in and out. So some decks are not livable or habitable at the moment. Other parts are and can be explored, but Ranger Squad, when they're off duty, find themselves in a small cave where their bunks have been set up, like, you know, those portable frame bunks in a black rock cave, an atmospheric shield between you and the tunnels going deeper into the moon. Maybe occasionally you'll hear the squirms of a wounded space worm in the distance as this happens. So, as I said, you share your it wasn't me. You share your mission time with the Wyoming Squadron. So when you're not on duty and on rep time, you're out on missions. So one mission example I would have is that you went out to raid a pirate base. This base was a space station. It was a meteor-like space station, except the meteor itself looked like it had been impacted on both sides, making it look like an apple core. And then all the sort of buildings and structures and docking ports and all that sort of stuff kind of coming out of the middle of it and hanging down and hanging up from the top and the bottom. The pirates of this space station have been raiding the locals for resources, and the captain has said enough is enough. If the Empire's not doing anything about them, so we're going to go out. So the X-Wing squad is able to do a raid on the space station. Can't take out the entire thing, but you're able to kind of put it out of commission for a while, hitting the docked Z-95 space headhunters, that they have on their flight decks, and also hitting their sort of dockyards as well.
Probably making a mess of their flight decks.
Yeah, absolutely.
A few photon torpedoes.
Torpedoes everywhere. Blaster
Photon.
cannons. And those Z-95s that are able to get out of the deck to intercept you aren't really a match at all for Ranger Squadron, who are a professional X-Wing squad. Professional pilots, as I should say. Yeah. But it's a successful run and you return home. So that is something that Ranger Squad have done. And now I'm going to turn to one of the players. Who wants to go first before I choose someone? Rog?
Sure. Okay. So Lutz has been seeing a lot more, of the galaxy as it's coming together since he was thawed from his carbon sleep. Things have been a bit odd. The galaxy's a very different place than it was back in the Clone Wars when he was put to sleep. He's been struggling to feel the Force without the guidance of his former master. And now we're on board the New Hope. There was an old Jedi area on board the ship. So he would regularly go there, even though it's quite, flooded in parts and damaged. It still was an area where Jedi would go. So he's been spending a lot of time there in deep meditation, remembering the lessons he was taught from masters back at the temple, like Kiara Mundi, Plo Koon, and Anakin Skywalker. Reaching out with the Force, trying to reconnect with lessons learned. While he was there, he reached out and felt something within the temple itself. And when he did this, he went looking and eventually stumbled across a hidden compartment that could only be opened using the Force. And within this, he found a damaged holocron. And he spent a lot of time with this holocron afterwards, which is a partial recording from Jedi Master Plo Koon, explaining use of basically the kinetic force, using it to move things around. And yeah, he's been using that to try and regain use of such abilities.
I feel we know what we're going to be spending your XP on. Excellent, excellent. And what about the X-wing squad? Do they get out on a mission?
Yes, they have been patrolling quite a lot, trying to make sure no one stumbles across the moon, the moon where we are, and also running escort missions for shuttles to the abandoned space station that we found. Because although we didn't use that as the base, there's a lot of material there, and been using it to gather
Very cool.
gather equipment and resources to help repair the New Hope.
Cool. Colin?
Sure. So, Jamadil Jewel, when he's had the time, has been following up on the idea of retrofitting the Ranger Squadron X-wings with ion cannons, if there are any ion cannons around for him to retrofit. If not, he's been playing with the idea a bit and seeing if he can acquire some ion cannons to retrofit, because he likes the idea of having some effective weaponry against these cybernetic fighters we're likely to be going up against. Other than that, he's been trying to win the tolerance, if not friendship, of Diamond Squadron in his fairly passive kind of way, just offering help, trying to be useful to them, make sure help to make sure their craft are in as good nick as they can if they'll let him, and just trying to be around and share in the work. Okay. Trying to rub away the idea of us as this as a group that's been,
creating bonds.
Sort of dropped it. So the sense he got was essentially they've been through a hell of a lot together, and then we've been dropped in, and they
fancy X-wing squadron.
Yeah, and they don't really trust us. They don't really kind of resent us dropping in and just being like, and yes, we'll just walk in and save the day and not really doing the hard work. So I'm really trying to he's trying to sort of contribute to the hard work and the less glamorous stuff, really. The stuff that's actually. Yeah.
Well, before you say your mission, I would just say that in regards to the ion cannons, there are no Starfighter ion cannons per se, except the ones on the Y-wings.
I'll just borrow some off the cruiser, right?
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking the same thing. So the New Hope. Yeah, so the New Hope would have
weapon batteries, not like the main, not like the main.
No, but the anti-fighter guns would be the same scale as your fighters because they're designed to shoot fighters.
Yeah.
So there would be some anti-fighter ion cannon turrets somewhere on the ship. So you start working with the ship's engineer and some deck crews as well, looking at repurposing these. You get the permission from the old fish, the captain, to do this, and he agrees because between the X-wings and the Y-wings, if there are fighters getting close enough to the ship, then they're pretty screwed anyway. So he kind of thinks his focus is on the main kind of heavy capital ship-sized batteries at the moment. Problem is that you're basically trying to, even though essentially they're the same size and scale, you're trying to take them off a capital ship and retrofit them to an X-wing. So it's an ongoing project, which takes up sort of one corner of your flight deck.
Yep.
Your landing bay, which has now basically been committed to the X-Wing squad and the Pioneering Spirit when it's here.
Cool.
And a mission?
Mission, yeah. So, some ways similar to one of the things Roger said. Big drive at the moment, I think, is going to be resources. So, somehow they got wind of the ship of the crew. The range squadron don't necessarily know how this has come about, but they've got wind of a bulk shipment of some fairly standard materials, but the kind of stuff we're going to need to rebuild hulls and or bulk electronic cabling or electrical cabling and signal cabling, that kind of thing. We need to rewire and refit the ship. And Range Squadron escorted the commandos in a transport to take this. Came in. The freighter managed to get a distress signal off before we could jam them, but other than that, the fight went reasonably well. Some defences, but nothing a competent squad of X-Wing pilots and a badass boarding party of commandos couldn't handle.
Led by what did we call it? We called him Major Havoc, wasn't it?
Oh, I can't remember.
He had a cheesy name.
He had a very cheesy name. I don't think it was Havoc, because I would have recognised that, because Havoc Squad's Old Republic.
Yeah.
Can't remember. Anyway.
Sorry, carry
on. So yes.
Major Maverick?
Yeah, that's probably it. Anyway, so yes, and then we managed to jump out just as the reinforcements that were responding to their mayday jumped in. Now you've got the special ops commandos on your side as well. That's
brilliant. So you've come out of that making peace with the Y-Wings and getting the Spec Ops team on side with the X-Wing squad. I like it. Brilliant.
I like making friends. What can I
say? Excellent. Okay. Eve?
Yep, so on the ship, it's not often that we get our post, but like during that time we actually got the deliveries for all the crew, so went to check that, and Merrick got a package he was expecting. So then he went to see the chief engineer, the one from which we got our droid, our astromech back, and we spent some time tinkering with my Air 2 unit, the R2K12, so nicknamed Catty. Then to like retrofit on the droid like a new holoprojector and recorder.
Yeah.
With 360-degree capabilities, and
you're pimping out your R2 droid.
Yeah, pimping the R2. So
love it.
So then we had a bit of fun with it, like recording ourselves dancing or whatever, or doing silly things, and watching some horror films. But the super interesting thing is like that at the next session, when we probably a week after that, something like we went to watch the new series of horror films, we discovered that the little droid has been a bit too curious for himself, and we discovered a range of interesting things on it. So probably the most odd thing we got that is there's like some sort of almost fully fledged biopic of the wildlife of the Nexu on a ship and in his unnatural habitats. Now how is working himself there.
So it's done a nature documentary of the Nexu that you fought in the first session. I love
Yeah,
it.
he's hunting some rodents and things that goes around, playing around in the garden trees. We got like we found also a superb and detailed, but yet incomplete manual on how to retrofit iron cannons on X-wings, and yeah, so we managed to make a couple of bucks and a couple of credits as well with selling a rediffusion of the latest Holo Chess tournament that we ran on the ship. And finally, we do now know who the second in command on our ship fancies. But to be fair, if anyone asks us, we will neither confirm nor deny. No, about that.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And a mission.
Yeah, so the mission, yeah, we've been contracted to do a bit of other kind of good in the galaxy. So some sort of humanitarian mission. So we needed to escort a ship from Moraban to Felucia, and
Cool.
so a shipment of medicines. They were expecting eventually some interference from the Empire, but so we got there made contact with the fighter pilots. Then we go on our way. We go through hyperspace, go to Felucia, and no problems, no Empire, nowhere to be seen. However, when we arrive there, we start to check in with each other, but we realize that communications are jammed. So what's going on? Don't know. So we switched to proximity communications with infrared between the ships. And so we start communicating with each other. Everything's okay. What's going on? Blah blah blah. Everything's jammed. Nothing on the sensors. We try to contact the fighter pilot, but he's not responding, despite the connection being established. And the only thing we see that is just going full throttle toward the planet. So we flank him. Try to reestablish communication, see what's going on, if he has a problem or something. Then without any response, then Rays go and go over him, go into an inverted dive to just try to see through the cockpits and try to communicate with him, trying to. And so you can see that the pilot's still there and operational, and something is really weird. So he then instructs someone to fire a couple of warning shots for the pilots to stop going and doing what he's doing, but still no answer. So we then fire a more accurate shot on one on the engine. So we force him to go and settle into nice clearing somewhere. So once we get there, we go onto the ship. Interrogate the pilots, and he's not willing to say anything. So we smell something fishy. So we then go and investigate the cargo. It turns out it's not medicine, but it's a whole shipment of blasters and weapons, all kind of weaponry. So, and confronted to that, the pilot still doesn't want to say anything. So we've got an idea. So we go to the meeting point, and so only two of our people goes there, and then we set up an ambush using their own shipment of weapon to set up the ambush.
Cool.
And so when the people got there, we just take them by surprise and force them to explain what's going on. So the contractor, which was a local on the planet, wanted to stage some kind of coup. And so he used the alliance faking a humanitarian mission to try to get their weapons shipped in, and without risking interference from the Empire. So he could do his own thing there. So after teaching him some manners, we just confiscated everything and bring all the shipment back to the New Hope. So we got
Fantastic.
new weapons now.
The commandos will love you even more.
Maybe, I hope.
Well, maybe all the others who were acting as the commanders have probably already got reasonable gear. It's the rest of the crew who were having to.
It's the gunnery officers and the deckhands who are doubling up as security.
Doubling up as security,
like
right? Yes, we now have real weapons.
Blasters as well.
Yeah, we can replace all our defective stuff, and there was an operational by the.
That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah. Okay, Jim. Best for last. No pressure, mate.
How do I follow that one? Right. Yeah. So obviously, with the new shiny people around, and people look at it, so I've decided to do some diplomacy with the lower decks, shall we say, with the engineers and the cargo haulers and stuff like that. So I've spent most of my time wasting my money on tobacco with them.
Cool.
Yeah. Also helping bring in certain types of contraband to make their life easier. Nothing too risque, just some liquor and bits of bobs like that. So smuggling on escorts and bits and bobs like that.
Networking and setting up your own black market for the lower decks, and I like it.
Absolutely,
okay.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, keeping the guys below happy. So just making their life more comfortable and easier.
Fantastic.
And mine as well, obviously.
Keeping them comfortable. And a mission idea?
Yeah, so along with escort missions and that, we've been doing some scouting missions to find out various locations of the Empire close by. But so far, everything that we've been out to check out has been a no-go. We found no sort of activity in those sectors where we've gone.
Cool. I like it a lot. So, I was wondering, actually, if we still have viewers at the moment after the Games Master let his players run the session for a good half an hour. If there's anyone in the comments who quickly wants to give us a mission idea or a character idea, if you're still there, and I can translate that into a mission if you want.
By the way,
gone home.
By the way, Dan, you got a reroll.
I got a reroll. Oh, thank you. Who was that from?
Nick Zeka.
Ah, fantastic! Thank you very much.
So yeah, the GM got his own reroll now.
I'm gonna remember
interesting things are gonna happen.
Don't they always?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like he needed that, we re-rolling up once already, right?
Okay. So with no update in the comments, I can't really see it at the moment.
No, not right now.
No,
we've got some a bit of delay.
They're singing in the background. They're so just blown away by you guys that they don't feel that they can follow up. Okay, so
must be hit. There's just
about. Sorry.
Ranger Squadron, yeah, we're so good.
It's amazing. 3 weeks pass. There's been reports back from Dash Hansen, the captain of the Pioneering Spirit, and he feeds occasionally information to the New Hope. You don't really know what's happening because it seems to be being fed into the kind of like intelligence section of the ship, or what they're doing with it.
I'm gonna interrupt you. We're getting things in now.
Oh, okay.
So we've got what Place Forever says. How about players get a week off and go to the wheel if you know the place?
I know the place. I know the wheel. Okay.
I'm not sure I know the place, so.
or they nurse the space slug back
Yeah.
together. I've got it working. Okay.
Yeah, nursing the space slug back to health. Yeah.
Well,
Good
in regards to the nursing the space slug back together, there is the ship's doctor, who is called Doc, an original name, is in fact one of those medical droids. The one that you see in Empire Strikes Back, the blue one with the eyes and then the sort of microphone-like mouthpiece. Those medical droids, except it's heavily modified. It's got 4 arms instead of 2, and one eye looks like a sort of sort of a series of lenses and kind of microscope-like zooming in function. And if he's requested to, as he's not, doesn't need an atmosphere, he will kind of attend the giant space slug. If the players, I wouldn't say the players would get would get a week off, but they would certainly get. Why would you want to heal the space slug? I don't know.
I don't quite understand that one. No.
You didn't
Because
wound an innocent creature, but you have basically done, invaded this creature's personal home space and used it for your own and wounded it heavily in the process. But other than them not wanting to hear, I wouldn't know why. So perhaps they don't get a week off, but they certainly would get a day off. So you head to the spiral, the wheel, sorry. And there is sabacc, there's gambling, there's some interesting shenanigans with a hut there on the station, but don't worry, you managed to talk yourselves out of it. Well, the Twi'lek mostly did the talking out of it, but you quickly made your way back to the safety of the New Hope. But in the process of helping a hut with a little bit of local business, he did agree to sell the New Hope some more supplies at a discount rate. So you're able to get some more parts for the New Hope, which goes down well with the crew. So yes, anything else come through?
No.
No. All right. Okay. We'll crack on. So, 3 weeks pass. Dash Handsome has been sending coded messages to the intelligence unit on board the New Hope about the Dark Tie project, but no information is being fed back to you guys, and you're getting a little worried that you haven't heard anything. You have committed to a number of missions and performed admirably in space combat, gaining the respect of the New Hope, and through your networking and treatying with the wiring squadron, you get on side with them, and they are far more cooperative when you complete missions together. It's when you're back from one of these missions that you are called straight to the briefing room, where the captain is actually there waiting for you. The old fish, as the crew call him. He's there in his uniform. Remember, he's a very old Mon Calamari. His skin is kind of like a light pale blue with sort of darker blue mottled patches. His gangly eye that kind of hang down from his chin are flecked with white and grey on the tips. And he's hunched over and he's got that large cane with a sort of giant kraken squid-like thing on the top of it. And he uses this cane to kind of press the buttons on the holographic display in the center of the room as you guys take your seats. Yes, gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We have lost communication with our agent, Dash Handsome. We are trying to re-establish communication, but he sent us one last bit of information that we've recently just decoded, and we need you back out and operational ASAP. We've learned that 2 Dark Ties are currently committing to a live fire exercise as part of the development program in the Garblag Nebula, and he kind of pokes the stick at the control panel, and this sort of like fluorescent green nebula appears in the middle of the holographic display. It's kind of got stormy clouds in it, and you can see the occasional jagged bit of electricity. And he goes, this nebula is quite notorious here.
What shape does it take?
It's a giant G. It's just kind of, you know, oval shape. The most disturbing thing though is that this live fire exercise, as far as the information we've been given, looks like it's actually taking place against Imperial TIE fighters. They're actually using their own men as targets. In this fire exercise, I think this goes one step closer as to why we are fighting this war against such an empire that would use its own troops to field test their weapons against. We know that here in the Outer Rim, a lot of people avoid this nebula because shields and sensors don't work in the nebula, which is probably another reason why they wanted to test them there, see how they would react to that sort of environment. So when you go in, you'll be going in and you're having to be picking up your visual scanning, which is why we're committing the X-Wing squad and not the Y-Wing squad, because A, you're going to get there faster, and B, you've got a greater field of vision from your cockpits. We need you to come in from the galactic south. That's what we understand is their last known position. The astrogation compute information is already being sent to your astromech droids. You need to get underway right away because, as we understand, this is actually taking place now. This information is live. Any quick questions, Ranger Squad?
We know how many are there.
We know there are 1 to 2 dark ties being field tested against an unknown amount of Imperial TIE fighters. I hate to say it, there is a strong possibility that you will actually be helping this squad of TIE fighters.
What do we know about the dark ties?
Our objective is to get rid of the dark.
We need to take out those dark ties. This is the first opportunity that we've had to actually destroy 2 dark ties outright. If you can,
okay.
I would say gather what sensor information you can, but the sensors don't work in this Garblag Nebula.
Visual recordings, then get what we
That
can.
would have to be.
Did we get anything useful from the sensor data I collected last time?
We did, yes. We've been able to identify that the fighters are made out of composite alloy, which is adapted on site. So the metals that we found in the cargo container that you scanned, which was on its way to wherever this hidden base is, are then modified on site and are kind of reconstituted into these dark ties, making the hull 4 or 5 times stronger than your regular TIE fighter. We know that the organic element of the dark tie is minimal compared to its dark trooper counterpart project. Historically, the dark trooper project, you were basically adding additional cybernetics to old veteran clone troopers. As far as we can tell, they've just used the brains of TIE fighter pilots. And that's it. It's quite a horror, frankly.
So if those ties are so resistant, are the blaster fires going to be enough?
I would recommend you use torpedoes.
What about ion cannons? Will they work?
We don't know yet.
Did
Unfortunately,
I-
we haven't been able to get the ion cannons that you've started working on attached to the X-Wings yet.
Oh well.
TIE fighter pilot brains. I think we're all right there.
Be careful of
Veterans, not.
don't get cocky.
What?
These are
Never.
these are veteran pilots, and they might not necessarily be TIE fighter pilots. They might be veteran Clone War pilots, and that's a different brand. That's a different type of pilot entirely. Right. So if there's no further questions, Range Squadron, get underway, and may the Force be with you.
Okay.
Let's do this.
If only I'd had another week and I could have fitted a couple of ion cannons to one of our ships.
Basically, the frustrating point. Yeah, exactly that.
Oh well, don't have it now, but all the more reason to keep working on it when I get back.
Okay, right, so you are used to getting on the deck and off the deck and out of these kind of old lava flume tunnels and out of the volcano crater into space. I'm not going to make you roll for that because you've done it now dozens of times. So these 4 X-Wings come hurtling out of this volcano crate like the fighters escaping the Death Star in Return of the Jedi come shooting out. The astrogation coordinates are already set into your astromech droids, and you prepare to go to hyperspace.
Now that Nick says, may the Garblag be with you.
The Garblag will be with you. So as we move into this encounter, I think that's probably a good place to quickly pause it. Is that okay? Fun?
Yep.
Sure.
All right.
See you in a bit.
Good evening, and we're back. We thought we'd better come quickly as we seem to be getting raided. So, welcome.
Yep, thanks to Free League Publishing.
Yes, thanks, Free League Publishing. Boosting our views. Right, okay, where were we? So, our heroes had gone into hyperspace in their X-Wings. The blue, swirly star mist, pounds into effect as your X-Wings accelerate and shoot off into hyperspace. It's a very short trip, only about 20 minutes in your cockpits, as then the blue energy swirl that is hyperspace quickly pulls away. The stars stream past you, then slow down, and in front of you is this green nebula pulsating with energy. You see like electric storms in there, the occasional fork of lightning or a sheet-wide lightning, and it's white, very white, bright aluminum white, as it kind of skates through. This,
I have a co-pilot.
Oh, as it skates through this green nebula. And in front, you've all managed to pull. The direction is that you need to come out at the galactic south of this nebula, which you've done clearly, and there you can see a dark TIE fighter.
Let's light it up.
Lock S-foils in attack position.
Formation. Brilliant. For those of you who are just joining us and don't know what a dark TIE fighter is, it very much looks like its TIE fighter counterpart, except where the cockpit is, there's just a sort of red glass.
Dark trooper, but a TIE fighter.
Yeah, it's a dark trooper, except a TIE fighter pilot, TIE fighter, and the wings are sort of rectangular, coming out forward past the cockpit, and then sort of split into two like the TIE Interceptor. So it's more rectangular in shape. It's got 4 cannons, which we're going to find out, and probably other things. And it's seen you as well. It did appear to be looking at something else, just on the outskirts of the nebula. But coming out of hyperspace, it's seen you. You
So much
haven't
for the
got the
element
drop
of
on it.
surprise.
Well, it's interesting. It would indicate that it must have had some sort of an advanced warning that you were coming. So
That
either
is
it's
odd.
got advanced sensors, or it knew you were coming. So it's one of the two.
Is it in
Well,
attack range?
It is within attack range. So
Ready, aim, fire.
Perception, the highest in the party is Eve.
Yep.
Your perception is still higher than the dark ties, so your group gets to go first. Who do we want to start with?
Don't know. Let's start with Jim.
I've lost my dice.
Okay, let's start with someone else.
Well, yeah. With someone else, then I don't know. I can engage then, I guess.
Go on and take a shot.
All right. Well, yeah. Straight up fire. No time to think. Just adjust, aim, and shoot. So let me check my stats again. I've got Starfighter Gunnery 5d1
Yep. Don't forget to add.
plus maneuverability.
No, it's Starship. It's
Fire control.
Oh, no, it's the,
weapon control. Sorry.
Fire control is
control.
different
Yeah.
depending
Fire control,
on
that's the
what
word,
you're
thank you.
using.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
well,
So are you using your guns or are you using your launchers?
well, how far are we?
You're in range of launcher. No, you almost basically come out of hyperspace on top of him.
Okay, if we're sure we're in range, let's go for torpedo. Proton torpedo launchers, fire control 2Ds, so that's
Oh, Colin and Eve
5
have been
plus
given
2.
rerolls.
Well, then they've
Thank
been given
you.
rerolls.
Yeah, I think
I
I've
will.
done-
Curses!
I will
Yeah,
try and
so
use
have
it to blow this thing out the sky.
Yeah, I already got 2 from the previous session that I haven't used, so
I think they run out immediately, and
Yeah.
Jim's just been given
Yeah,
one.
they don't roll over between sessions.
Yes.
right. So
So
I've got
we all,
Hey,
including
don't forget,
Ben.
I've got a reroll as well. Just
Yeah.
Yeah,
saying.
literally everyone's got one.
So
Everyone's got a reroll.
So 5d plus 2, 7d.
Main line in the
What you can
reroll.
do.
Go for it.
Well, it's like a nice roll. Interesting. 10, 20, 31, 32. 33.
Okay.
Okay, that's plus 1.
Right, so seeing that the odds are against him, for the moment at least,
And nuke it from orbit, it's the only way to be sure.
this
Phew.
the dark bless you, the dark TIE fighter opts to do a full dodge, full reaction, which basically means it adds its target to hit roll on top of its dodge. So you had a target to hit roll, which would get changed if you dodge, but in this case, it would get no other actions. It's just going to dodge and adds its to hit value.
Okay.
Oh, not these dice. You got 33. That's a miss. I'm not going to tell you what the target is.
Higher than 33.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all right, Max.
Yeah.
Watch out, is quick. Can we at least communicate with each other, or being in close proximity, or not even at all?
Oh no, not even no. Maybe you can shout out of my back door.
I'm saying the comms. Are our
No,
comms?
Yeah, no, I
Oh,
think he means
oh,
can we
sorry.
talk to each other?
Are our intership comms still working?
You're technically not in the nebula yet,
Okay.
so everything is still working at the moment.
Oh,
Just
good.
checking, yeah.
I'm going to assume all your shields are up, by the way, facing forward. In the direction
Very kind of you.
Yes. So, Colin, do you want to go next?
Sure, I'm just going to use blasters. There's no point
Okay.
launching or I'm not going to hit, so I might as well not use something with limited ammunition.
Spend a force point. Character point.
Yeah, I'd have to roll pretty well. Yeah, my average to hit with the torpedoes is 23. So plus 10 wasn't a hit. So I'm just going for I don't hit. Well, let's just go that. 10, 20, 26.
Okay. No, that's not a hit. Jim?
I'm not going to hit it while it's doing full defensive, basically.
Okay.
It's fine. Unless
I'm
I get
gonna shoot it.
ridiculously lucky.
Okay, make a roll. I'm
Uh,
going to Roger
plus
last because he's
3d6,
most
isn't
likely.
it?
Plus
Plus 3d6 fire systems, is that
It
right?
depends what weapon you're using.
Three if you're using lasers, 2 if you're using torpedoes.
I will get some torpedoes.
Alright, go for it.
Okay.
You do need a minimum of 34 to hit.
You need a
We don't know
quite
exactly what, but
spectacular
it's
roll
at
to
least
hit.
34.
It's more than 33.
10, 18, 24, but 27, 29.
Ooh,
Good, but
it's good roll, but it's not good enough.
I rolled
Okay.
a 6 on my DC on my wild die as well. Damn
Yeah.
you.
You did re-roll it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
that was a
Okay,
good
and
roll.
finally,
Okay, I'm going to go with lasers because this thing is moving and I'm not sure a torpedo can hit it.
very good,
So-
very sound.
I'm one with the force and the force is with me. Oh, I'm going to use my reroll straight away.
Okay.
That's a lot of ones.
I mean, it doesn't matter if unless the wild die was one of them.
It was.
You use
Yeah.
the force, Lutz.
Oh, that's better. Other way round this time.
Nice. We're all just wildly firing in its general direction. Lutz just going to nail it through the cockpit.
We'll see. I don't know how good its dodge is.
True.
So like maybe we hit it if we're lucky.
10, 20, 30, 36, 38, 40.
Yep, you've done it.
Ooh,
Nice.
nice.
Of course,
So
you've
it
now got
is-
to damage it.
The fact that for the last 3 weeks you've been fighting pirates, smugglers, and TIE fighters, TIE bombers, that sort of thing. The speed and the maneuverability of this small little snub fighter takes you by surprise. A lot of fire. It doesn't go wild. All your shots were sound. They would have hit if it was a normal TIE fighter. But this is not a normal TIE fighter. This is the prototype dark TIE fighter. And your weapons blast around it as it dodges and weaves and ducks in and out of these blasts. So at which point that one of Ranger Squadron's X-Wings, piloted by Roger's character, manages to get in just ahead of it, and he flips his X-Wing over to face the oncoming dark TIE and lets loose with a hail of fire. Make a roll for damage.
All once.
So you roll to, for those that are joining us for West End Games, you roll to hit and then you roll for damage. And then I will roll my armor and any shields if I have them to see if I absorb, and then you
I would
calculate the
be
difference, and that's the damage.
26.
Sorry?
26.
I thought you said 56 then.
I wish.
All right.
Yes,
That would be
I'd need to roll a lot
Saxon
of sixes
from
for that.
So,
I would
Okay,
be
so-
astounded if this thing does not have shields.
well, the question's answered as you fire those turbo lasers at the TIE fighter. You do see the familiar glow of shields around it as they impact on it.
It's one thing not giving your TIE fighters shields, but this thing is a...
So you know already that from
My
the
interceptors
briefing...
have them, so...
Yeah, from TIE Interceptors?
I
TIE
don't think
Advanced.
interceptors do. Advanced.
It's-
I thought interceptors do.
No, they're still... they're saying that with canon, it might have changed now from back in the day. Back in the day, they didn't, but I don't know if the new Rebel series or has them with shield. Anyway, I digress. So you hit
X-Wing
this
Alliance
thing.
said they didn't.
Oh, okay.
Right.
There you
Which is my go-to for a lot of these things, because I played it.
go. You already know that it has an advanced hull.
Alloys. Yeah.
It's a 6 on my wild dome.
Ah, well.
That's another 6 on my wild dome.
Oh, God. Pig.
That's another 6 on my wild dome.
Oh, my God.
Dead
is-
center, no effect.
Nil
It,
bar.
it is as if you were protected by the Force.
This TIE fighter shoots over you. You impacted several hits on its upper hull, which just seemed to ricochet off its shields. As the ship flies over you closely,
Can I tell my astromech to scan it? Because we're not in the nebula.
very good, yes. Have to do a census roll.
I mean, I'm a bit...
I
I'm
don't
not
think the
sure what my-
astromechs... I'd
Oh,
let you
I'm
do
a-
it as a second action.
Can I?
Yeah, I'll let you do it as a second action, so it's -1D. I know we haven't declared the amount of actions, but as I was saying, as it flies over you, Rog, you get a sort of cold chill up your spine. It doesn't feel right.
It feels wrong.
It feels wrong, yes. As a Force sensitive.
Then we hear about the comes.
Feels like showering with a Twi'lek.
Okay, that was 19 on my sensors.
What, sorry?
19.
Yeah, you get a scan. Don't really have the opportunity to kind of examine it at the moment,
Just,
Oh, no.
put some data in.
but certainly can store it.
I
in
would have
storage for
surprised
later.
my astromech can't do that.
Read through the data?
Well, no, as in like do the scanning rather than me.
It could do, but I'll be honest with you, it won't be as good a roll because the astromech's scanning would be off its mechanical, and I do believe it doesn't have.
It does not have scanning. It
Sensors.
does not have sensors, so it'd just be 2D.
It would just be so you'd be much better off doing it.
I'm assuming the X-wing doesn't add anything to it.
No, as it was
It has some modifiers for different things, but whatever.
I would say, given the nature of, because normally you'd get like 1D if it was a focus, 2D if it was something else, but under the circumstances that it's just passed very quickly over your cockpit, I'm thinking it would be a 0D passive roll. But you've got, it was a good roll, so you've got some sound information there, and now you've confirmed that it's also got shields. As it banks around it can't attack back because it's done a full dodge. It's actually a new round.
May I suggest something for you, Rog?
Mm-hmm.
On your next turn, probably, your astromech droid has Starfighter Repair, which is probably the appropriate one for it to go through these sensor logs and see if it can find a weak point.
Good point.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I'll go with that. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Why not open your cockpit and turn your lights on and
Fly me closer so I can hit them with my sword. Don't tempt
Watch it,
me,
he might.
Jim.
He might. I'm going to fly up to it, open my cockpit, and hit it with my lightsaber, despite the fact that it'll be 2 scales higher than me for damage.
Just breathe breathe good.
If it was me,
Open the
I would
cockpit,
fix the
throw
lightsaber
the
to the
lightsaber.
front.
Just
Have it as a
stick to the
bayonet.
front of your X-wing and use it as a... why has
just
that
stick
not
it
been
at the-
done?
Yeah, just stick it at the front of your X-wing and just turn it on. So you just bayonet.
Ramming
Yeah.
speed!
So this dark tie has banked heavily and kind of done a corkscrew turn towards you, bearing down.
Adjusting.
Lightsaber adjusting. But you guys have the first round. So who wants to go first?
Should we do the same?
And how many actions? Sorry?
Should we do the same order again?
We'll do the same order. So that was
Right. This time I'm gonna try again. But
how many actions are you going to declare?
Oh. When you do that
Bearing
first,
in mind,
You probably want 2 so you can dodge.
Yeah, I'd like to keep around something to dodge. Yeah.
So declare 1, and then you've got stuff banked for dodging later on if needed.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, isn't that 2? No, I mean like just one action of active and one.
Yeah,
dodge,
one action of shooting, and then
one
if you
action
do
of
need
shooting,
to dodge, because it might not attack you, it might just attack one
true.
person.
It might not be cocky and try and take us all out in one round.
Well,
Yeah.
I am going to declare at the beginning of my combat 2 actions.
Fair enough. So this time I'm going for lasers.
Okay, so there's 3D plus your starfighter.
So yeah, so that's
Starfighter,
5 plus
Starship
3.
Gunnery, sorry. Blah.
Yep. Ooh, 6 on the wild eye. That's good.
Ooh.
Nice.
That's
we'll
one
take
more
that.
2, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
8
let's
on
make-
D6 is still pretty good. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not the 20 or whatever it was that Dan got for the soak last time on one of his dice, but
I know.
So the thing is, then you need to count everything. This one, 32, 34, 38.
Okay, so sorry, just bear with me. I want to see. So I'm going to see if this works. So bear with.
Sure.
Right. Okay. So it opts not to dodge and to take the hit.
Ooh.
So roll for damage.
Okay. Okay. Damage.
See if it can take it.
what were you shooting with?
Lasers.
Well, he lasers because he rolled a 3D
Lasers
plus
is
3D.
6D damage.
Yeah.
Let's roll for damage. To 20.
So how much?
So did you get it? What? 20.
20. It's absorbing, it doesn't count as an action. Yeah. Okay, so again, seems to bounce off the shields.
Can definitely take it. Yeah, great. Okay.
Okay.
Time?
I would like to take one action.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to shoot at it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to jam his comms.
Yes! Yes!
I want to keep him from calling for reinforcements.
Good man, you figured out what I was doing in my second action, didn't you?
I was just looking at this thinking, 4-on-1,
Yes.
this is going to take us time. I need to buy us time. Basically, the best thing I can do is buy us time.
Very good.
So what
Can
am I
I
rolling?
ask, I think, if it's okay, because it's cinematic,
Yep.
let's wait till my turn, remind me, and then we'll do a roll-off on our comms.
Okay.
Because my second action was going to be my comms.
Yep.
To call for help. So
Yep.
wait till that. I think that'd be cool. Brilliant.
Yep.
Love it. Jim?
Use torpedoes. Lasers are ineffective.
Yeah, I might eject my R2 unit at it. No, yeah.
Get him,
It's
R2.
not a buzz droid.
Not with that attitude.
Brilliant.
Just mount, just R2 is floating across, landing on it, and going, wait, where's my cutting torch?
Let me fucking have it.
I believe in our
31.
4D6. He's got this.
Brilliant.
So,
31.
31 to hit with a torp. Dan?
Sorry, say that again.
31.
Sorry, cut out there. Okay. Again, was that with torpedoes or with?
Yes.
Torpedoes.
Torpedo.
Right. I will opt to dodge that. 'Cause that's like silly damage, like 9D.
That's an extra 3D of damage, yeah, that's...
So I'm down. So I've got 3. So this is my third action. So it's minus 2D. And I've got to get 30 or more.
That means you can't dodge my astromech droid the next time.
I've got to get 30 more.
31, I think he said.
31.
Yeah.
It's not a great roll. So I will elect to spend a character point.
Okay.
Oh, these things have character points.
Yes, I do. I will elect to spend another character point.
Holy Christ.
That makes me very sad.
Why?
It means he's burning them.
Yeah, it does mean he's burning them. So that's a successful dodge, but now it means it's 30 or more to hit him. 31 or more to hit him. Okay. Raj.
Okay, I'm going to fire a torpedo at it. I'm only taking one action.
Okay.
$39.
Right, well, that's a hit.
Yeah, that was a 6 followed by a 6 on the wild die. And then a 2.
If I opt to dodge,
You then have to roll from scratch.
and I'm going to be really low on dice for my shooting
If you don't
and
dodge,
bombing. Was that with torpedoes or lasers?
Torpedoes.
Okay, right, no, let's see if we can do this. I'm going to try and take it then.
If I told everyone else to use torpedoes and then went, I'm using lasers.
Fuck you, guys. Right, go on then. Let's do it.
It's all right, you'll just roll 4 6s in a row again.
I know, right. I'm not sure you can spend character points on absorbing. I think it's just on skill rolls or force rolls.
Hold on a second. What I want to know is how they've got character points when they've been totally reorganised with tech. Yeah.
because they were
Because it basically
they're a nemesis
they can,
character.
Yeah, they're
Whatever
a sort of
the term is.
NPC equivalent.
30.
So what you're telling me is the TIE Fighter brain gets some character points.
Yeah.
They're a nemesis equivalent.
Just imagine what it could be expending its experience points on being a TIE fighter body.
38.
38.
Yeah.
It might be. Yeah.
See what happens.
We'll see if I need to make my roll, my comms roll.
Okay.
It's not going to destroy it. This thing's tough.
No. But it's gonna. Well, I
Unless
hope
Dan
it's
rolled
gonna
straight
feel
ones.
that.
What I want to know is why the Jedi always show off. Yeah.
What did you get? It was 38, wasn't it?
38, yeah.
Okay.
And that was a
Definitely
good roll, so if it tanks this,
You've
you can
hit.
just cheese it.
Roll a d6.
5.
Now the question is, if the pilot takes damage, how many hit points does this brain have?
That's a very good question. Let's find out.
I would imagine not many if it's just a brain.
But it depends on whether the pilot counts as the brain or the brain and the
Okay, you've hit it.
system around it. Anyway, 5.
The hyperdrive. Well, basically, you see the ship rock as this torpedo impacts on off the shields. The shields. It's almost like you see a sort of breaking of the energy bubbles, like glass shattering around it, hits the energy field, hits the hull of the ship. There's an explosion. Gas ruptures from a tank. You see a stream of hyperspace fuel kind of coming out of its rear. So basically damage the hyperdrive.
Hyperspace
Can't
fuel.
believe you made
interesting
it shit itself.
If it could.
Of course, it's shitting itself. It's facing Ranger Squadron.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, my turn. So
Oh, dear.
I declared 2 actions and I did a third action. So I got -2D. My first rule, let's do against Colin. Let's do a comms roll off.
Yep.
Oh
So
shit!
hold on,
It's
I'll
deep
just-
freezing waves.
and then I take away 2.
So, like, I'm just rolling base comms. I don't get any
It's
bonus.
still going to be higher than mine.
Yeah, fine. I don't get any bonus from the ship or anything. I'm
Okay.
just checking. I should just. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
What did you get?
20.
You've just been given another reroll, Colin.
If I re-roll that, I'll probably get worse. But thank you.
18.
Nice.
Nice.
That was a fairly good roll. For
You
me, so.
absolutely called it. It was you as it gets hit by the torpedo. You can see comm signals coming out from it, which you instantly start jamming.
Yep.
From your cockpit dash control.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop it from looping around, spinning, and diving down on. Roll a d4. Rog. This will be fun.
The one who just shot it quite successfully.
So
He's got Jedi reflexes.
that's the dice pool minus that.
So let's see.
So
The fo-
I'm
the-
rolling
the-
to
the fo-
dodge now.
The,
on
fo-
side
the
of
force
minus one.
connection,
probably.
like, is them up. It's like, I'm gonna shoot this one.
And you've got -1 die on the dodge for the.
I do.
Uh, 29.
Okay, I think the wild die might have saved my ass here. That's 133.
Ooh, okay, very good, very good.
I rolled 4 ones, but I got a 6 on the wild die twice.
Nice.
As
I
this
don't have
dark,
rerolls, so I needed that.
as this dark TIE fighter bears down from you from above, you manage to basically slam your engines into reverse, rapidly pulling away so it shoots past you, hail of fire and all. Okay. New round. Same order?
Why not?
Okay. Go for
Remember, use torpedoes. It's bigger than a Womp-Rat. Should be easy.
it.
All right. Yeah. I'm switching back to torpedoes. Just switching the switch on the control. And let's try to take that down now. Ooh, 6 on the wild eye.
Ooh.
Yeah, I see a lot of other 6s and 5.
Nice.
Oh, good man.
That sounds good. Oops. Okay, this one got on the ground.
Go on, pulse up.
Count.
Bust it up.
All right, now I need to count.
That's good.
That's a 10. That's a 10. All right. 20, 32, 38.
It's going to be tough to dodge.
Sparks, are you good with scanners?
39.
All right.
39.
Ooh,
39.
man. Okay.
I'm getting better and better.
might be worth one of us giving it a good scan.
It's To be honest, I think it probably makes more sense for me to keep on comms to keep it jammed for now, unless Pulsar's just wasted it, in which case, sure, I'll scan the wreckage.
How's Wraith with scanning?
You've hit
Done it.
Sensors.
Hits.
sensors, which is off mechanical.
Not too bad. 4D.
Okay, so about
I've
the
got
same
no
as me.
senses.
You've just been rolling base. Anyway, yeah, you've hit, Eve.
So damage. What's damage on torpedoes?
It's 9.
90.
Another 6 on that wild die.
Yeah, go on. Another
Yeah,
few
yeah.
6s on the wild
If
die.
you insist, I will.
You, Dan. Again. You roll a 1 on your wild die. That's perfect, Dan.
No, I'm rolling 60s on my wild dice today.
Hey, good man.
On top of it, yeah, fair enough. Let's see.
This is the 3-leg hero we deserve.
You think?
Oh god, from that laugh, Dan's probably rolled a lot of 6s.
Dan's rolled dramatically, I think.
It's certainly dramatic.
Didn't you have a reroll hanging around?
I do have a reroll hanging around. I am tempted to use it.
I think I've got 2.
45.
Oh!
Dodge that.
Well, you know what?
Whammy.
I would not have been able to absorb that because I certainly rolled under. So I will be using my reroll.
I'm just curious, how bad was that first soak?
It was under half. The amount of damage that he did.
That would
Which
be...
would have been an instant death. You would have died outright.
Seriously, I've
Mine
got
won't be with
6,
you.
4, 5, 5, 5.
Oh, that's better. Okay. Still not going to do it though.
So not going to soak it all, but maybe
No.
not just gone.
17.
That first one would have been torpedo into the hole that Deep Freeze left.
You got 48, didn't you?
Sorry?
48, wasn't it?
45.
Oh, sorry, 45. Refer to a calculator. You're rolling on the heavily damaged chart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
So roll a d6 and make it high. You've got to re-roll.
I've got a reroll. I got 2. I'm tempted to try and better.
What did you get?
I got 2.
2.
Yeah,
Oh, actually, that might not. That
That's
might
the
be
weapon
so-
system, isn't it?
It was ship loses weapon system in 1 fire arc,
good.
but as it's only got forward
One
fire arc,
Yeah, same as us.
it would be either its guns or its torpedoes.
Roll off.
Or do I need to roll something else?
Do you want to roll
Just a
again?
suggestion.
Or...
Just a suggestion. No,
No, for
roll off
the,
which
which
one's
one?
gone boom.
So 1 to 3 lasers, 4 to 6 torpedoes.
Oh, right, sorry. Now I get where you're going with. That's the
One-
torpedoes.
Cool.
No torpedoes. Good.
I mean, it's not the one it's been using so far, but if it
It's not
decided
been
to use
using
those,
much.
I was opting for it next time. So.
if it decided to use those, we really want to pass our dodge checks.
Yeah, the force is with us. Apparently, if we got cum jams and no more torpedoes.
So
Just before it was
you've
using
damaged its hyperdrive and you've managed to knock out its torpedo launchers, or in this case, concussion missile launchers. So
I think I've got a clean hit.
next
Can
is
take an absolute beating. It's just taken 2 proton torpedoes and it's still fighting.
Yeah.
next is Jim.
On Wraith.
Right.
And that is the scary thing for Ranger Squad, I think, is that this dark tie, this advanced prototype is giving you a run for your money, And
4-1-1.
and it's 4-1, and the Empire's notorious for basically using waiters' numbers as its advantage.
Yeah.
So
32.
imagine if there were more of these.
Well,
Yeah.
they can't.
There is another one around.
Yeah, as far as we know, there's another one around, which is why I want to keep it from calling for backup.
So, Jim, go on.
32.
I'm gonna dodge it.
Oh, is it re-rolling its dodge?
Did it make
Well,
an
dodge was-
attempt for the previous shot? Or did it
Yeah,
just
so the last dodge was only 30, so I'm gonna attempt to dodge.
attempt to dodge, so that'll be another
So it
action.
loses another die off.
Use the last of my character points. Poor Jim. Where is he? No need.
It's because he's just afraid of you, Jim.
Well, I mean, he can use lots of character points. It's not like that pilot is gonna have some time to spend the
34?
XP into.
What was that?
34.
Can I use some character points?
You can use character points, yeah. I mean, yeah, alright. How many do you want to spend?
Two.
Well,
One at-
what did you?
You
Yeah,
spend
spend
them
one at a time.
or?
Yeah. Do you have a reroll?
Yes.
Do you want to make the reroll? Or do you want to spend
Yeah,
character
go on.
points?
It depends.
It might
If it's a
actually-
good,
well,
if it was
well,
a good roll, you probably want to keep the roll and spend the character
Yeah,
points.
mathematically,
Oh, yeah,
there's not
I'm
knowing anything about
gonna-
maths. It might be better spending the character point.
Yeah. I'm going to spend a character point.
Okay.
5.
So that
So
comes up
you've done it.
37.
You've
Yep.
done it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Fantastic. So the force is with you. I was going to say young Jim then, but that's not the case.
Whoa! Sweet child of mine.
He's only in his 20s. Lay off.
Yeah.
Hard life.
It's a hard knock life.
Got
Yeah.
a full head of hair.
Oh my
So yeah, Roger is deep freeze and Dan is hard burn.
Brilliant. Brilliant. So yes, you've hit. Roll for damage.
How much is a
Was
torpedo's
that
damage?
9D?
9D.
If anyone out there wants to give me a reroll,
I'm going to re-roll that.
you're
Oh,
going to use your reroll. Okay.
Yes.
Good to know.
That's better. Oof. 6 on the wall.
Oh god.
let's take this thing apart.
That's still valuable information. How many proton torpedoes do we have to hit the thing with?
7.
I hope we've been keeping
41.
We've only got about 6 each.
41.
So-
41.
Yes, Jim.
Oh my god.
Oh, Millie has been terrible and given Dan a reroll.
Yes, Millie! Thank you,
Millie!
It's just for the drama.
Oh, thank you, Millie. Let's get this on then. Right, okay, so let's see first of all if this is going to work. No. Okay. I can tell you now, without even adding it up, that certainly did not reach 41. So I will opt for my reroll. Thank you very much.
Well, yeah.
This is the second time I've had to reroll. It's like damage.
As soon as granted, as soon as used.
To be fair, this is the second time you've had a 40 plus hit from a proton
Yeah.
torpedo.
Well,
Yeah.
fair. Oh dear. Oh dear. Right. Okay. Gonna have to refer to the calculator.
We boosted our torpedoes.
It's not. It's oh shit.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's like you know like
Oh, we got a boom.
Not
Like,
destroyed, but it's certainly severely damaged. It's really severely damaged. So roll a d6,
Gone.
and if you make it high,
It then has a
It will then-
countdown
yeah.
to go boom.
4.
oh shit. Disabled weapons. All weapon systems lose power.
Yes.
Roll a d6. Roll a d6. Get high. All
Six.
weapons aboard the ship are destroyed.
Yes. But it's still going.
The problem is,
What else is
we
it doing?
haven't taken out its engines, which means it's now just going to be dodging like mad.
Well, no, but the thing is,
Isn't it?
Roger's next.
Finish.
Come on, Roger. You need to finish this off, man.
Finish it off.
I'm
The
just
force is
hearing.
with you.
I'm hearing the force
Don't let it
music in my
ram us,
head.
Rod.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yes.
all yours, Deep Freeze.
Force is with me.
Speedy says
37.
Force 7 to hit was enough.
It was enough, yes, because I had 34 at my last count, and I
I
certainly
got
cannot
37,
afford
didn't I?
another.
Can't reroll.
Yeah, you got 37, and I got 34.
Let's go for the 9 dice.
Millie says to finish him, but who does she mean? Does she mean Dan?
Certainly
Or
not
does she
me.
mean
I can't
Ram?
fire anything now.
You can ram us now, can't
Yes, I can. What had occurred to me, because I can't run away because I haven't got hyperdrive. So the only other
39.
option, 39.
you? Stay on
Jesus.
target.
How much?
Thing is, my shield and my
39.
hull are still actually intact. Weirdly.
We've
Oh,
only blown up all your weapons.
Well,
Almost
if
would have
you
been
can
better
disable-
if we'd have taken
yeah.
out if
Jesus
we'd
Christ.
instead of taking out the weapons, we'd taken out the engines with that last roll.
Or the
'Cause-
shields.
Or the shields, or I mean, the shields would have been good, but the engines also would have been good because then we would have had basically free run to just wail on it till it was gone.
Or if
Okay.
if there's no engine, we can even capture him.
Roll again. Severely damaged chart, please.
6.
Destroyed.
Finally,
Got one!
Go bring
You fly
Nice
through the
one.
debris.
Oh, no one said it. I was waiting for someone to say, that's great, kid, don't get cocky.
No, you don't, kid. That was 1 in a million.
No.
Hey.
Yeah. Okay. So
Well, actually,
This-
it's 1 in
this-
4 as well. Hammered it with torpedoes.
you've taken like 4 or 5 torpedoes to take the thing down. 4, I think.
Yeah.
this
4
this,
hits.
This dark tie explodes in a hail of torpedoes. It almost gets lost in the blue energy that's kind of bombarding it. You see the shields go, and then one wing comes off, spins away, and then it spirals away and kind of almost implodes on itself, and then tears itself apart in a fireball, leaving nothing but shattered metal, broken glass,
I'll do a scanner sweep of it anyway.
and
Just
frozen blood.
Full scan of the wreckage.
Right. Well, you've all got a moment, so if you all want to make sense of
Yeah.
rolls,
let's all do a scan. of the
softly
wreckage.
mechanical.
Yeah.
If you
Aaron
haven't got a
says,
skill.
Aaron says, now where the other one cues Joe's same music.
Yep. Could I do a focused scan, which seems to be a 4D bonus?
Yes, you can.
Oh, can we all do that?
You can all do that if you want. Yes.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna spend my sensor roll trying to locate the other one.
I will remind you that sensors and shields don't work in the nebula. You're not in the nebula.
That doesn't mean
I'll check-
that doesn't mean we can't get warning the moment it breaks the nebula.
That's a very good point. Okay.
Or if
If
it's
you
already
can-
outside.
Yeah. So if you can make that roll, but you're not focusing on one thing,
No.
you're doing. So I would say that would be a passive scan, which is a 0D bonus.
Yeah, it's gonna give me that.
Yeah, I'll do the passive scan.
I've got a low 3D anyway, so I might add.
It's good to have a
try
heads up
something
if
useful.
an angel of death is bearing down on you, guns blazing.
I rolled a 6 again. Oh, nice. That's
I'm
good.
actually going to spend one of my rerolls because I don't want Dan to say something interesting happens on my sensor roll 1 on the wild die.
Just it's behind you.
Boom.
I've got 30,
Right behind you.
33.
Okay.
How much?
33.
33.
On the same-
On a
Damn, I thought you
focus
said
scan.
50.
No,
Done. I got
Yes.
16, but I rolled a 1 on the wild dice.
20,
Okay.
Something interesting happens.
29, 31,
he's behind you.
35 on my roll.
For that 16, I'm going to say no don't no modifiers. Okay, you leave the roll as is, and you got 35 as well. So you commit
35.
to
So I'm focus scanning this wreckage to try
the
and
wreckage.
get
So
anything we can get out of it. Just all the data
it all goes into the data banks of the
goes to data
asteroid
banks
droids.
to be transferred later.
Eve, you're basically keeping a scan
Yeah, I've got
around the area to make
14.
sure nothing comes out.
Dan, can I use my new ability?
For what?
I want to pull a small piece of the metal wreckage towards my astromech, and it can send out a little thing and grab it.
Oh,
Because you know how they've got a kind of little
yeah,
things.
okay. I will say yes, and I won't even make you roll because you're kind of like sitting there, taking time to do it. But you are sitting there taking time to do it. So I will make a couple of rolls.
Keep your eyes peeled. I'm going to see if I can get some of the wreckage.
Eve and Jim, can you roll your sensors again?
Yeah. I've got 4 with 1 on the wild die.
4
Got
total.
6 with 1 on the wild dice.
4
Oh.
total, yeah.
So our picket is useless.
Oh,
Oh, you know what? I've just got something right. Okay, so this happens. I'm sorry, I can't not do this with that roll.
Go for it.
So this.
you know you guys have got re-rolls, right?
Oh no, don't.
Yeah, I'm not re-rolling 3 dice.
So
I'm
want
keeping
your
my reroll for the
Star
next
Destroyer.
dungeon.
it's not a dark tie.
You didn't notice that Star Destroyer.
You didn't, what you did
Where did that Death
notice,
Star come from?
This
Oh, there's a
almost
sun here.
battered TIE fighter, plain ordinary bog standard TIE fighter, manages to kind of limp out of the nebula. Its engines behind it seem to fizzle and crack, and it shakes now and again. And you guys completely miss it. As this lone TIE almost kind of lugs it behind you, and then it's almost kind of like hanging there. Just behind you, when Colin's character who was watching Rog kind of do his force telekinesis, looks out and then sees this TIE fighter freaking behind him.
Guys, why is there a TIE fighter behind us and no one noticed?
I'm building my blue tack TIE fighter. Oh, shit.
Seriously, contact on 6. What the hell?
So what are you doing about it?
Keep it off me. I've almost got it.
Alright, so let's roll. Well, you guys get to go first. If you want to attack it, go for it. Roger's not going to be able to participate in this little bit because he is in the middle of...
I'm actually not going. I'm going to suggest we don't immediately attack. I want to comment.
Oh.
I'm thinking this is probably one pissed off Imperial pilot
very
who
good, very
possibly
good.
doesn't want to be an Imperial pilot anymore.
Make a comm roll. I will as well. It's going to be a little bit harder because though the nebula is still a ways, it's kind of messing with the local area.
I don't know whether he's any good, but recruiting opportunity is always a recruiting opportunity.
True. Coming back with an extra pilot's no bad thing.
23.
Yeah, he's done all right as well, and you're absolutely right. The first words coming down the comm link are, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender.
Okay. Yes.
This is TIE Fighter X91 Alpha of Jagged Squadron. I surrender, I surrender. They were shooting at us. Our own TIE fighters were shooting at us. What the hell is going on? And now the rebels are here.
Your luckiest unlucky day, I guess.
His comlink seems to stutter a bit, and you've got a little holographic display in front of you, and you can see him. He's kind of swaying a little bit in his cockpit, and he's kind of got a large dent in his helmet.
He's one of the lucky ones. He merely has a dent. He has a dent in his helmet. His head is not missing.
Yeah.
Is there somewhere nearby that he could go to
I'm thinking
pick him up after? Because he hasn't got a hyperdrive.
Toys don't have hyperdrive capability.
No, they don't.
I'm going to come back to the New Hope. That if I can, that we have a TIE fighter pilot in TIE Fighter who wishes to surrender but doesn't have a hyperdrive. What do you reckon?
Okay. You get a.
I'll tell the pilot to stand by.
You get a 2-word answer from the New Hope. New Hope Actual, it is the old fish. And he simply says, destroy it.
Oh, don't need no more talking than that.
I'm assuming, does that only go to Colin?
Yes. Ooh, plot twist. He's thinking about it.
Tension.
What do you want to do? They don't know what you can. They you don't. They've got no idea what you're doing out here, so you could get away with anything you want. No. No. All right, love it, respect it.
I'm going to signal the squad.
Yeah, close comms kind of thing.
Close comms to the squad.
Brilliant.
New Hope Actual says to destroy it.
You can't. You can't do that.
Brilliant.
That's what I was hoping you'd say.
Can we? Because we've got contacts in the rest of the rebellion, right? Because we were assigned to the New Hope.
You do, yes.
Can we send a message to the rebellion? They're surely going to want an Imperial defector.
That's a good idea. And the nearest.
Where's
rebel...
somewhere that because the TIE fighter can't get anywhere, but is there somewhere nearby it can go and lie low?
You are in the middle of deep space on the outer rim.
So
it's
hide in the
nebula.
Hide in the nebula is its best plan.
Which it doesn't want to do because there's a Dark Trooper TIE fighter
Yeah,
coming in there
but
hunting down TIE fighters.
in terms of in the time it's going to take for someone to
See
come here.
if you can reach the rebellion. Someone might.
Well,
be
the nearest rebel base is actually the one that Jim's character came from because he came from like a nearer area, but took longer to get here. And they can send
I'll see if I can raise
boat.
them. I'll see if I can raise them and ask them.
Okay, go for it.
Ask them to send something. So that is 1719 on comms.
Yes, you get them on comms. And you're absolutely right. They do want that.
I'll relay the situation. I'll relay the full situation, including.
They are a little worried about what they hear. Being the only actual rebel base or cell out in this area, like official Rebel Alliance types, they have heard of the New Hope's kind of rebel resistance cell, and that it has in the past done some things that might not be in keeping with the Rebel Alliance, and this has just brought that home a little bit. But they have been out here fighting the Empire longer than anyone in the Rebel Alliance has. They've almost been fighting it from day one of the Clone Wars ending. So they've probably become a little bit bitter and jaded in the past. But they say, yeah, we'll send a rescue boat out. It's going to take, from our location, it's going to take a day for us to get out there.
Okay. I'm going to relay that to the TIE fighter pilot. So for now, I'll let them know. I'll let them know that our intention is to destroy the other prototype. Well, how many prototypes are they aware of? Basically, try and get the information out of them.
I only ever saw one.
How many other ties are in there?
There's a whole wing. There was 10 of us in there.
Wait.
He also says I don't have enough atmospherics to last a day, not without repair, to my hull. Do you know anyone who'd be able to fix a ship in a spacewalk?
Could an astromech do it?
No, it would still need it would certainly help whoever was repairing it.
I can do something about that, but I don't want to be in space when we need to take out this other ship first. How long you got?
Oh, a couple of hours.
Okay, we'll need to finish our mission first.
If we come out here and there's other ties pursuing us, we need to give them the same offer. So if you could, I'll ask the TIE pilot if he can do that.
I will.
Your squadron has been betrayed.
You won't get any argument from me.
I'm gonna switch to local comms. Do we not think it's a bad idea if we start rescuing and they get more pilots on their side and start getting brave again?
These people have been betrayed by the Empire. We could get the rebellion an entire fighter squadron. Ships they can get pilots are the problem.
Frankly, a half a squad of damaged ties is not going to be a significant threat to us.
Also, we took out 12 ties.
Yeah, in a couple of few rounds.
We're Ranger Squadron. Yeah. They're no threat
you're
to
Ranger
us.
Squadron.
They're not actually a significant threat to us, but the potential
TIE
gain is
fighters,
significant.
We chew TIE fighters for breakfast.
Yeah.
However, they could be a significant asset to the rebellion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not shooting someone who surrendered.
No.
I like it.
Okay, let's see if we can smoke out this other dark tie.
Stay tight. Pick up your visual scanning. We're probably going to lose comms when we enter.
So what are we doing? We're just like
You're gonna have to go into the nebula.
Can we ask the TIE exactly how to get there?
fire on the wrong direction and say, "Oh no, it's getting away."
Can we ask the TIE pilot where they were?
I was in the southeast area, galactic southeast area of the nebula, but it's a bit hard to orientate when I don't have sensors or shields.
Well, we've got a rough area at least.
Oh, sorry. Sensors. I don't have shields and I've got that time by.
Since when does to basic time get shields? Yeah.
Sorry, with no sensors.
All right, let's see if we can get the drop on this thing.
Okay. Let's see what we can do.
So with that, I think that's probably a good place to end. As you guys head into the nebula, this kind of green, this bright green fog sweeps over your hulls. You can see forked lightning and sheet lightning, bright white lights scattered throughout, and your engines hum as you go through, and then your shields crackle and disappear, and you just get silence as you head into the green mist. And we'll call it an end there. Who would have thought we would have got some role play whilst you're in an X-Wing? I thought that was great, guys. Thanks very much. Good job. Lovely. Loved it.
That's awesome.
So thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight on Twitch. I hope you had a good night. I thoroughly enjoyed tonight's session. And thank you to my lovely players for their contributions to the story tonight. They all came up with some fantastic missions and character developments alongside the New Hope and Ranger Squadron. So I think that's it for tonight. Thank you very much again. Hope you all do well. Stay safe and have a good evening.
Good evening.
Bye.